Hello everyone and welcome to another classic guitar video. Tonight's guitar is a J Turser J Series Hollowbody electric guitar. Tonight's show is brought to you by Guitar Center of Glendora. As per usual, really great people there. Check them out. Really great, wonderful, special, wonderful, awesome, killer, bitchin', hardcore, badass people. Check them out. CK Ong is the manager. I know her well. Very lovely young lady and very knowledgeable and very attentive. So check them out. Guitar Center in Covina. Guitar Center Glendora, I'm sorry. So yes, we're working on this J Turser. Let's check it out. Let's get right into it. I'm getting a late start tonight, so let's have at it. So here it is, the J Turser. Again, it's a J Series Hollowbody. Pretty cool piece. I don't know the exact model number on it. That's why I am calling it a J Series, because they're usually JT dash and then a number. But since this guitar has no serial number on it, no tag on it, no nothing on it, I'm looking for any label or anything. It does say J Turser at the top, but no serial number. But I do. It's obviously a Hollowbody, and they only have one series of Hollowbody, JT series or J series, as I'm calling it, for the purposes of this video. But it's a pretty nice piece. It's very thick. It's basically a full-size Hollowbody. Pretty darn thick. It's a thick piece. Thick piece. It's a little heavier than your typical Hollowbody, but it's pretty nice. I just got this from a friend of mine for a song, so I'm going to do my thing to it and pop it back up for sale. It's not going to be a keeper. It's in really good condition, but it does right along here have a finish crack that starts here and goes all the way around to the other side to here. It's just a finish crack, it's not a neck crack, but at the end of the video I'm gonna put a thing of glue here just to fill in the crack a little bit, so it's not, you know, when somebody's playing the guitar they don't feel it on the high notes here. So other than that, it's got your Gibson style gold knobs and your trapeze style tailpiece, 2 humbuckers, 3-way switch, 2-tone, 2-volume. So we'll go ahead and we'll plug it in and test play it real first. Then I'm going to pick it up and take it into the shop and air blow out the holes. As you know, that's what I do all the time, just to blow out any dust and stuff like that. So let's hear this puppy. Let's hear this puppy. Ooh, the actions. So you might have a switch problem? So we don't have volume. You might have an unsoldered connection or something, maybe?
Okay. Why? Because I remember what Turser used to say about reassociation. That it didn't matter whether he agreed with it.
Because back position should be this pickup, middle should be both, and then front position should be pickup. So okay, so we're having a little bit of an issue right there. I have to figure out what that is. Might be an unsoldered connection or something. So we'll see. I'm going to take the pick guard off because when I air blow it out, this is kind of blocking the hole. So I'll take the cover out. I also got the latest Guitar Center flyer advertisement today. So if we have time tonight, we'll take a gander at that for S's and G's. Yeah, oh gosh, my friend didn't tell me about the switch. Of course, he may not have known it. I think he just bought this guitar and then he flipped it to me. At any rate, it's not a big deal, I don't think. We'll figure out what the issue is. This might be a 2-day project, I don't know. Depends on what we can get done today. I'm going to take this out to the shop real quick and take my compressor and blow out the holes. So we'll be right back and be right back. BRB.
But I would also want to be sure I was ready to pay the price.
You're right. I need to be sure.
And if you're sure, if this is what you really want, I will back you all the way.
I've lived 7 lifetimes, and I have never had a friend quite like you.
Anything to bridge. We're ready to generate the tensor matrix.
Understood. Stand by.
Aye, sir.
Commander Dax.
Subspace field stress is within normal parameters.
Probes ready to launch. Target drone is in position. Bridge to engine room. Initialize subspace matrix, Mr. Eddington. On my mark.
Acknowledged.
The tensor matrix is starting to form. Activate the drone.
Wormhole neutrino readings are stable.
Subspace field stress is up by 15%, but still within safety margins.
Launch the probe.
No helm control! There's a opening on deck 5! Emergency force fields are in place!
I'm reading a massive plasma leak in the engine room.
Bridge to engine room. Mr. Eddington. Dr.
Countdown will now commence. Get ready for a little fun and action. Star Trek Voyager is coming up next. Part of all Star Trek on H9.
Do I use a toothpaste that whitens my teeth, or one that's good for my teeth? Now I don't have to choose. From Crest 3D White, the whitening therapy collection with new spearmint and peppermint oil. It gently whitens, plus it has a fortifying formula to protect your enamel. Crest. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
More politics, deeper culture, and better access. That's what you'll get with the newly expanded Washington Examiner magazine. From the president's desk to the floor of the Senate and now your kitchen table. For the first time ever, the Washington Examiner, the insider source to Washington, is available nationwide. Read the same news as your member of Congress. Subscribe now to our introductory offer of $49 for 44 weekly magazines. WashingtonExaminer.com/TV or call 1-800-569-3419.
Mama washes the dishes before she puts them in the dishwasher. So what does the dishwasher do?
Cascade Platinum does the work for you. Pre-washing and removing stuck on foods the first time.
Wow, that's clear.
Cascade Platinum.
If you're in the market, your nest egg's been on a wild ride lately. Up one day, down the next. But you don't have to let a volatile market scramble your future. Personal Capital can help. Start with a free investment checkup that analyzes your portfolio and suggests improvements. Join for free. You'll get all these free retirement and investing tools, including a retirement planner that takes the guesswork out of retirement. Plus this free guide. Join for free at personalcapital.com/guide.
It doesn't say what happens. This is the app. It's like saying the car or the book.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper.
Doesn't sound like
Bounty
a big
picks
deal.
up messes quicker and is 2 times more absorbent. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Treat yourself to Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher since 1917. 5 generations of great steak delivered to your door. Hand selected for quality, flavor, and tenderness. 100% guaranteed by America's original butcher. Right now, the savings celebration package is only $49.99.
Oh, man.
$94 value. Years in the making. Every Omaha steak is aged to perfection.
Okay, we blew it all out. It was quite dirty inside. Clouds and plumes of dust and dirt came out, and then I blew out this switch right here. Just take my nozzle and blow it out. So plug it back in real quick and see if that may have cured the problem. That'd be nice if it did. And it didn't. Okay. Ah, darn it. Okay. Shoot. Really wanted to get this guitar done today, but it might have to be a 2-day project. I don't know. Especially since I got a late start today, so. Oh, merciful. Okay. Well, we'll just dig right into it and go from there. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Got Klusen start style tuners on it. Don't have anything to tighten except the tuner to the back of the neck, back of the headstock rather. So, pretty decent condition guitar, except for that crack, and then one of these plastic tuner heads is cracked a little bit. It's not perfect, but I'm not going to be asking a lot of money for this guitar. When I'm done with it, maybe $170 or something. It's not a high-end guitar to begin with, so it's just something that I'll make a very tiny bit on. And I might make $20 on it. I might make pizza money on it. Might make pizza money on it. I actually don't want pizza this week. I want to do a floating bridge here, so that's kind of cool. Take notice which way it goes, so we don't have any issues. And we'll take these strings off one at a time, just like that. Ooh. Undo it a little bit more. Okay, that should do it a little bit better, yep. A little better, yep. And a little better, yep. So we can set these strings to the side. Check the nut and make sure it's not loose. And here's the flipper flopper on that. Flipper flopper, and then we'll take the knobs off. I got this great little tool here that I use to pry up knobs. Just a little plastic little prier set that I got at Harbor Freight for like $6 or $5 or $4 or something like that a long time ago. So they work out pretty good. Now we got them all off. I'm wondering what that issue is with the... That sucks because that sucks. No play. I mean, it plays, but we have an issue here with the... So the thing to do would be to pull the pickups out or up and then pull the pots out and out of the hole and inspect them one at a time. Because if I do them all at once and take all the electronics out in one fell swoop, I might mix up which pot is which. And since I can't see under there, so you just do them one at a time, inspect it, put it back one at a time. Should be able to do that. Should be able to. So. That being said, let's go ahead and continue forth. And pull this pickup up and make sure it's still connected. I'm sure it is because it's something to do with the back pickup, I believe. Or back piece of wiring or back something. And we'll figure out what it is here in a minute. Like I said, this is not a high-end guitar to begin with in any way, shape, or form. It's low-end, end-user guitar. Not expensive. So we'll just kind of have a gander. The hole. Everything looks good there. I mean, it's a pickup hole. There's nothing to... There's a lot of leftover wax from when I polished it at the factory. It seems like the wiring is hooked up from the pickup. Here's this wire for this pickup. It seems to be hooked up to the pot and everything. If you just sometimes just give it a very light little tug, you'll be able to tell. I don't see any problems, issues, or glitches that way. I'll leave it undone. If I have to flip the guitar sideways or anything, I just put one screw back. Just to hold it in place so it's not flopping around. So it's not flip-flopping. Flip-flopping around. do these one at a time and go from there. Yeah, like I said, I got this guitar from a friend of mine for, a song. But I'm still not going to make a whole lot of money on it because, it's not an expensive guitar to begin with. So, but I offer all kinds of guitars for all kinds of people. So, okay, everything's still soldered. Hole's good. Figure out which wire it is and tug on it. Give it a little tug. Seems to be okay. Interesting. Alright, well. One issue down, one to go. Okay. Well, so far so good. Now the next thing to do would be to take the pots out, one at a time, and inspect them. So I think that's what I'll do. And what you do is you just unscrew it, or not unscrew it, but just got a little jam nut, these little jam nuts that I always speak of. And you just kind of take your finger, whatever finger is easiest, and you hold the back of the pot so it doesn't just fall through. Take the jam nut off, put it aside, and you've got a little washer there, a flat washer, put that aside. And if you can, grab the wire that's attached to the pot, and grab that, and then pull it through. And you should be able to do that fairly easy without messing up any other wires. So we just want to inspect the welds, the soldering points on the pickup, just to make sure. And it's got some factory tape on here that's barely sticking, so I'm just going to take it off. It's just kind of like masking tape. It's not very good quality tape. So that'll give us a little extra throw for the pickup wire. And they're 250K pots, nothing new there. 2 conductor pickups with a ground and just a white wire. And then we have another, and that one goes to the other. So this is a volume, and this is a volume, this is a tone, this is a tone. So I was mistaken earlier when I thought it was, no, I wasn't mistaken. I was correct. 2 volume, 2 tone. Okay, never mind. So this is volume. Typically your pickups go to your volume. Is how they're soldered. So this is your main volume, actually. So one of these wires is probably going over to the jack, I think. No, and this one's going to that part, I think. And this wire, yeah, this wire is going over to the jack, I think. Yeah, this is the jack wire. So ground, and then, yeah. And then just another wire that goes over to the first tone. So this pot looks fine. All the solder points look fine. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and put the pot back in. There's nothing else to ponder on this, so you want to be careful not to drop it if at all possible. Or if you can grab it easy enough, so you can put the pot back in, guide it back to the hole. Okay, so we basically know that pot is good. There's nothing wrong with that pot at all. So we'll go ahead and check the next one. And just do one at a time until we've checked them all out and inspected them all. Okay. Another cheap, very cheap masking tape to keep the wires together. So I'm assuming that's the way on all of them. I'm just going to take it off. It's very sticky. It's not very good. Ooh, it's very sticky. Sticky stuff. Ugh. It's really not really necessary anyway. Holy mackerel, stuff is sticky. Ugh. It's like old masking tape that's like been in a garage for 5 years and then you go to use it and it's all sticky. Holy mackerel. Okay. Well. Pot looks okay. Don't see any cold solders. So this one goes to the yeah, this one goes to this pickup. And it was, yeah, this one goes to this pickup. And then to the tone, and to the tone. And then the other one this one went to the jack, like we had discussed. So this looks good. I'm going to put it back because I don't see any problems, issues, or glitches with it, so go ahead and put this sucker back. Well, I don't see any problems so far. Yeah. This one's going to be a little harder because there's not much finger access. So I want to hold it before I pull it because I can't see what wire. I don't want to drop it because if I drop it, it'll be harder to get. Let's see if I grab it with a needle nose. And I can't quite grab it with a needle nose. I might have to get out my hemostats. I'm going to have to get out my hemostats. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to put the nut back because I got to let go of it. So I need to stand up and get my hemostat. No, I don't need to stand up because I moved it. Get my hemostat. For those of you that don't know what a pair of hemostats are, I'm about to show you, about to regale you with a pair of hemostats. Are you regaled? I know I am. So, and these are lockable, so I find my wire, grab it like a rabbit, and pull. There we go. And we'll make sure the we want to make sure the capacitor is good. And this is just a lead wire that goes from this pot, the volume pot, to the first tone pot. So that's not an issue. All the solder joints are good, no cold solders. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to put it back because I don't see any problems, issues, or glitches.
Scan the vicinity. On screen.
These hemostats come in really handy because, yeah, you can see they do. Because if you were a person with big hands or fat fingers or something, you'd be hard pressed to do this. You'd be quite hard pressed.
Every Sunday starting at noon, 11 Central, right here on Beach 9.
Okay. This one's a little easier to get to, so we'll do that one last.
For new insurance instead.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, raise their rates because
I gotta move that because it is not in my way. I don't think it's gonna be this tone. I almost don't want to take it out just because I don't know, just because I don't want to. I might want to take the switch out though. But I can't see. I'm going to put my light in here because I can't see.
With silver sneakers, included with Medicare plans. Call the number on the screen now or visit getsilversneakers.com.
Okay.
And my teeth are yellow. I mean, they weren't perfect, but all hope is lost. Clear smoking toothpaste. Tiny white strips. Glamorous white strips are the only ADA accepted whitening strips proven to be safe and effective. They work with a leading service to whiten 25 times better than a leading whitening toothpaste. Thanks. Crush this. Yeah, you did. Beautiful.
You want to be careful with the hemostats around the F-hole because if you move it around, you'll mess up the edge of the nice looking hole, sound hole. So you don't want to do that. Okay, well, interesting. Now I don't know which way it will go. I think it went this way. It went this way. So I didn't know if it went in this way or this way. It went in this way because of the wires on this side. So. Damn. I don't see any unsoldered connections. So that's good. Switch goes to the first volume here. Then goes to a tone. Goes to the jack. Yeah. So we got 2, 3 wires here. Where's the third one go? Jack. Oh, 1 to each volume. Boom, boom. Okay. All the solder joints look good, but for some reason we're not getting sound. We're not getting sound from this pickup in position number 1, but in position number 2 we're getting both, and then in position 1 we're getting the front one. See, like that. like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. So next thing to do would be to run an ohm meter across this pickup. I'd have to take this volume off again, so I can put my meter across it and read the ohms and see what we're getting. Unless it's this switch, which I hope it isn't. Next thing to do would be to take my meter and set it in continuity mode and run it in each position and see. We got 3 position, we got 3 tabs. So check that tab and it should go beep. And then when we do the center one, it should go beep. And when we go to the top one, it should go, third one, it should go beep. So I think we will probably do that next. So let's hook up my meter and we'll go from there. My meter reader. Hear that tone? That means we got continuity. And I'll show you. Okay. Number 2 test leads. Okay. That means you're completing a circuit, so it gives you a tone. I could also look at the reading on the meter, and it'll tell me. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the black to ground and test each one until we get tone. It might be a bad switch, you know. That's interesting. Not getting a reading. Huh. Okay. Why aren't I getting a rating? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean the switch seems to work. I just don't like the way it's. Okay, I need to think a minute because I need to think a minute. Damn it. It's always something, isn't it? Shoot.
Voyager is a proven vessel. It would be reckless to abandon it so quickly.
Come on, where's that Borg spirit? We'll adapt.
My Borg spirit gives me an objectivity you lack.
She has a point. This would mean leaving Voyager behind.
Is there any way we could modify Voyager to create a slipstream?
In theory, but I don't think the ship would hold up very long under the quantum stresses.
Okay, I'm gonna need to plug my meter in because I need it backlit, so I can, because the reading's backlit. And access to the backlighting, so I can see what I'm reading.
Once we have that safeguard in place, we can start making the test.
Okay.
Entire crew familiarize themselves with that chip.
Now we want to set it to ohms. Ohms. It's been a long time since I set it on ohms, so I forget where the setting is. Oh, no, I don't. It's right there. Ohms. Okay. We've got ohms.
Somehow I don't think standard diagnostic security protocols are going to make you feel any better.
Okay.
All of this is just a little too perfect.
Come on.
The message from Starfleet. Tell us everything we want to hear.
I'm going to have to unsolder it because it's going to...
They even turned down the net. The only thing missing was chocolate fondant.
It does seem convenient.
I can't put my finger on it. But from the moment this all started, I sensed something was wrong.
It started when Arcturus boarded Voyager.
Exactly.
Okay, we got 8 ohm,
Proceed as planned. But I want you to investigate that ship from stem to stern.
3.88 ohm.
I guessed. See if you can
When
find
we
out
do it
more.
to this, we got 8.4 ohm. So we're reading ohms across it.
Keep me posted.
Fudge.
Hey, Green, it's me, Marcy Maven.
You're the greatest detective in the universe. You should have your own show. Monk, all day Thursday, starting at 11 p.m. Central, part of the day shift.
Dirty switch. I mean,
Madness. The same machines, celebrity trainers,
dirty switch. I hate to take these switches apart. You can. You got to bend these little tabs back. And very carefully pull it out, and then you can clean the contacts, put it back in, and carefully bend the tabs back. So contrary to popular belief, you can service one of these switches, but you have to be careful.
How personal?
So I mean, I'm reading ohms from the
I'll learn your capabilities.
pickup.
I can adapt each day with personalized workouts unique to you and you and you. Some starting in only 4 minutes, all designed to help you become stronger, fitter, and healthier for the ones you love and the things you love to do. I am Max on the new Bowflex.
Now it's reading 0. Why is it reading 0?
The New Year sale ends January 31st. Treat yourself to Omaha Steaks.
Oh, no, 388. 804.
Steak delivered to your door. Hand selected for quality, flavor, and tenderness. 100% guaranteed.
388.
America's original butcher. Right now,
804.
the savings celebration package is only $40.
So we're reading ohms across the pickups.
Value 100 years in the making. Every
So why aren't we getting tone? That is the question, folks. Why aren't we getting tone across position number 1 of the switch? This position. This position we're getting tone from both. In this position we're getting tone from the neck pickup. We're not getting tone from just the back pickup. So what gives? Do we still have a bad pickup? Or a bad switch? Oh man, I don't know if...
The one that's good for my teeth. Now I don't have to choose. From Crest 3D White, the whitening therapy collection with new spearmint and peppermint oil.
Son
It
of a
gently
mother.
whitens. Plus it has a fortifying formula to protect your enamel. Crest.
Dag-nabbit.
Smile Select.
Attention oxygen therapy users. If you've been chained to an oxygen tank, then you know they're a burden. Tanks are often heavy and prevent you from trembling. Tanks keep you from living the life you want.
If I plug the guitar back in and tap on the pickups, now that I've had each pot out,
Extend your independence with an Imaging One oxygen concentrator. Imaging makes its own oxygen from the air around you, so you'll never worry about running out of oxygen again. The Imaging One G4 is lightweight and compact. Plus, it's battery operated, so you can have oxygen anytime, anywhere. Imagine the freedom of doing the activities
because I can't hear that. Okay, we do hear tone. And then we hear tone. This one we hear a little less tone, but we do hear tone. Oh, I got my arm across. Okay. Son of a mother. Want my TV back. So there's an issue somewhere, but now I'm getting tone. So if I put the thing back and put a string on it, am I gonna get tone? You know what? I'm gonna do that just for shits and giggles. So I'm gonna have to put one screw back in it so I can hold the thing in place. And I'm gonna put one of the others back too, just to hold it in place. I don't need to put all of them back. I'm gonna put this back and put one string back on it and tighten it up. Of course, I'll have to put the bridge back on too. Strum this pig and see what we got. So I'm gonna have to tighten the string back up. So strum it and see if we get tone. Ooh, we got. Maybe I was wrong about the position. No, I was wrong about the position. See how it's going back? It's going back. It's going back to what it did before. It goes off completely. Son of a mother.
I'm picking up an anomalous energy surge.
There are no power conduits running through this section.
Believe me, Seven, one look at that big blue marble you fall in love. It's got just about every ecosystem you can think of. And hundreds of different humanoid species live there. Aliens, Guitarians. There are several deposits you from.
Okay. I don't think it's a switch. I think it's a pickup.
We won't be the same without you.
Okay, now it's not working at all. I turned everything down. Okay, now I hear a little bit of tone. Or I didn't hear a little bit of tone earlier. It's very faint. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so maybe it was a failing switch. My back is really hurting. I might have to cut this video short. I don't know.
Arturo said it was irreparably damaged.
I know, but I think it gave up too easily.
Okay, so I think we've got a switch that's failing.
Let's give it a try.
What I can do is just kind of keep working the switch back and forth. If that doesn't work well enough, I can try, because these tabs aren't really down very good, I can tighten the tabs down with a pair of needle nose and see if that does anything. If not, I can, like I said before, I can bend these tabs back very carefully and very carefully pull the workings of the switch out and clean the contacts and put it back. Most people would just throw a switch away, and I've got hundreds of these switches, but know me, I like to fix something, not throw it away. Now it stopped again, see? Yep, it's a switch. Okay, we've deciphered it's a switch. Switches. Switches. Switches, switches, switches. So I'm going to untake this wonderful sticky tape off. Ugh. It's like masking tape. It's like when masking tape is sat in somebody's garage for years and then you go to use a piece of it and it's just all, it's a sticky gooey mess. Ugh, it's just like all over my fingers. Damn, this even smells not so great. Damn. Okay, now that'll stretch things out a little further. Now see, I can differentiate which wire goes to where. Okay, this one goes to this volume pot. This one goes to this volume pot. This one goes to the jack. So it is a... Ooh, my knee itches like a mother. So it's the switch. Switches. Switches. I won't say the rest of that. Never mind.
This is about your fear. You're not making this choice because you've outgrown humanity. I think you're afraid to go back to
So option 1 is to take a pair of needle nose and tighten down these little tabs. I know they're hard to see from there, but they're kind of up a little tiny bit, so if I just kind of squish them down a little bit more, and you don't want to go too hard because you'll crack this circuit board, so you don't want to do that.
You did designate your wind bag.
I don't think so. The data index doesn't match.
Okay. So I'm glad I found it. So one's going to one volume, and one's going to the other volume, and one's going to the jack. So the one position was in the front position, which I'm assuming is this pickup, because the front pickup position rather So that means I was right. This is the front. This position is the front pickup. See, I don't like the way manufacturers put switches in. Sometimes they put them like this, where the switch rockers this way. I don't necessarily like that. If I can, I like to reposition the switch so that way frontmost forward position is the front pickup, middle positions both, and then back position is back pickup. Because people that aren't very astute in knowing what position it is, they always ask me, well, what position goes to what pickup? So if I set the switch in accordance to what pickup, you always know. So I was right that this pickup was, not this pickup, but the front positions, that pickup is what I meant to say. So we'll just keep trying and make sure the switch works, you know, that's all we can do. Keep tapping on this switch. Until it's done. You know what, I need something to eat. I'm very famished right now. Been doing a lot of work today. I did a lot of little stuff today. So I'll be right back.
So clock into the day shift, Monday through Friday, starting at 11:10 Central, right here on H&I. I work in construction, but my company had cutbacks, so I got laid off. To make ends meet, I missed a few car insurance payments. When I got rehired, I called my old insurance company, but they wouldn't take me back. So I called the general. They'll cover drivers that other insurance companies won't. 10 minutes later, I had the exact coverage I needed at a great price. I even picked my payment due date. Let the general make life easier. Call 800-GENERAL or go to thegeneral.com.
This is an urgent message from the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. There is an emergency food crisis for elderly Holocaust survivors in the former Soviet Union.
This is a fight against time. What we're dealing with is coming out, meeting someone who's 85, 90 years old, can't get around, has no food, has no water, and just wants to give up and die. And that's where we come in. We are called to comfort these people, to be a blessing to their lives.
For just $25, we'll rush an emergency survival package to help one desperate elderly person for a month. Call right now, 800-348-1881.
In Ukraine, there's no support network. They don't have food cards. Their neighbors have come in to help. They're turning to us because they have nowhere else to turn.
Your gift is a lifeline to help these elderly Jewish Holocaust survivors. Help them to live out their final years with dignity and
Okay, I had to get a little snacky poop. Some brownies I made this week. Yesterday actually. And raisin, cranberry, oatmeal cookies. So. Alright. So we figured out what the problem was. I would have checked the switch better first. I mean, my first instinct was right. It was a switch. So, we'll just keep trying it. Make sure it works completely until we put it back. Because I don't want to have to take it out a second time, a third time, a fourth time. Oop. and 3 minutes figuring out this problem, so I think we've got it. That's why I'm going to go ahead and put the switch back. It's going to be real fun. That shouldn't be too bad. And I'm going to put it back in a fashion that allows the switching to go from side to side rather than up and down. And people always thank me for that. So we'll put the switch in position number 1 so we know which way we're going with it. And we'll put this badass boy back in. Tighten this pig back up. Oh, wait a minute. Did I mess up the son of a bitch? Okay, well, I know which way it goes, so I can, yeah, my finger doesn't reach. I can't reach in there. So in a case where I can't reach, what I have to do is switch the switch to a far position and kind of hold it there with my fingers. I've gotten pretty good at doing that without moving the switch because I want the switch perfectly straight. Okay, now we'll try it again, make sure nothing changed. Alright, problem solved. I think I might be able to finish this guitar tonight still. Yeah, I'll be able to finish it. I've got an hour and 20 minutes, so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and detune. And detune. Take the back off. See, we have 2 less things to polish for one thing. The bridge is wood. We do have this to polish, but all in all, I think we'll be fine. I'll put the screws back for the pickup. And turn my voltmeter off. And I think we're golden. And last thing is I got to put some glue in the finish crack around the neck. And that'll glue overnight. And this guitar will be going back out for sale tomorrow at $170. Maybe $160, I don't know yet. Depends on how I feel about it when I'm done with it. Excuse me. Well, isn't he a negative Nancy? So I gotta pick a movie to watch tonight. I don't know what it's gonna be. And a TV show to watch tonight. I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm just really backed up on my shows and movies. But I will find something. Oh, Venom. I was going to watch Venom. The movie Venom. And then for the TV show, I don't know. I don't know yet. Turn my voltmeter off. Put my leads away.
It took me months to find you. I watched and waited for my opportunity to make you pay for what you've done. Then the Starfleet message, and I knew that you selfish and
Just put in this little bag that came with the factory. Keep them nice and dust off of them and whatnot. Okay, we'll do the pickup pull height next. It's already pretty good, so I don't need to do too much adjusting to them.
When that happens, you will be assimilated as well.
That's irrelevant. This is what you wanted all along, isn't it? To go back to your collective. You should thank me.
So we're doing pretty good despite a very late start, and an issue with the switch. My friend said this guitar had been sitting for a while too. The guy he got it from bought it, strummed on it a few times, and that was it. So the guitar is new, but not brand new, and then it developed the crack at the joint here. I think that was from sitting the guitar on a stand and then near an open window with sunlight, and you know, it got hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold, and then wham, developed the crack. It's just a finish crack. It's nothing else but a finish crack. So there is that. Just a finish crack. Need to tighten these. Take the truss rod cover off and check the truss rod. Yeah, I think we'll be able to get this guitar done in timely fashion. I'm not too worried about it.
It's a relief to know that today TD is manageable. Learn more at talkaboutTD.com.
We're at full impulse, but we're not breaking through the quantum barrier. Having trouble controlling the field parameters. I need more power to the deflector. Bridge to Torrance.
I'm already on it, Commander. Stand by. Speaker of auxiliary power to deflector control. Make sure that quantum warp field is stable.
The truss rod's good. I'm not going to mess with it. Not going to mess with it at all. I'm going to flip this over and tighten the tuners.
Structural integrity is down by 9%. We've got less than an hour before the hole starts to blow.
Exceeded their slipstream. I'm aligning ours to match.
Again, there's no model number on this. There's no serial number on this, but it is a J Turser. And it is a J series or a JT series Hollowbody. I'm going to call it a 100 to a 120 series. I think that's probably what it is, or close to. I'm actually very familiar with J Tursers. I have quite a few J Tursers. But when I saw this model, I was like, this has a wood bridge. And all their current models do not have wood bridge ones. So I downloaded some of their older catalogs, and none of their older catalogs had one with a wood bridge. Wood floating bridge. So I was like, that's interesting. But I know the guitar is not old. At best, it's 2 years old. So, I mean, the value of the guitar isn't that much more or less. So that's why I'm going to price it at $170. That'll be more than a fair price for it, considering it's a full-size Hollowbody. It's maple top and maple back. So there is that. She's a maple. Maple Babel. Okay, we'll tighten the jack up. Of course, I can't see, so. Yeah. You have to get a 12mm socket, I think. 12mm. Whoops. 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 Ah, come on. For Pete's sake. Alright. I'll just put it on here. It don't need to be that. I'm pretty good at tightening by hand without the sockets. So. That tight now. Okay, I'm gonna flip this sucker right over. I'm actually gonna flip it on its side because the jack is kinda, or I mean the tailpiece is kinda, screws are kinda weird. Oh, there they go. Okay. No other problems. I don't see any other problems, issues, or glitches with this guitar. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of the frets and fretboard, and we'll just start on the frets and fretboard. I'm going to take a bite of my brownie, though, first. Well, that's an interesting picture. I don't know why it came out like that, but it did. Well, move the camera back. We're gonna get this pig done tonight. I guarantee it. I ding dong guarantee it.
No one can stop this ship now.
Again, this is a J Turser JT series Hollowbody. Very cheap. Decent quality. Cheap price is what I meant to say. So here we go. 22 fret. Rosewood fretboard. Here we go. One more time. Another one more time. I put a little bit too much polish on there. That's why I did it more than a few times than I usually do. And I used it to polish the tops of the pickup covers, as you can see. Sometimes I do that. Not that the pickup covers were real bad, but sometimes I do that just for kind of the sake of doing it is all. Just to say I did. Okay, fresh rag. Here we go. We'll do the other side. Yeah, pretty doity. Hoity-toity-doity. It's very hoity-toity and doity, is what it is. next to 0. Well, pretty much is 0. I mean, take that back, yeah. No, 0 fretware. For a fairly cheap guitar. My only issue with it was the 3-way switch, which I fixed, and then the finish crack around the neck joint, which I will put blue resin in overnight, and then the guitar will be ready for pictures tomorrow. Yeah. Frets are nice and level. They got a good crown on them, so I'm not going to mess with that. Good crown, good dressing. It's called fret dressing. Done, one more. That's a workout. Pictures, and then we'll start polishing the body. Take a look.
This was all an idea. It's not about who takes credit. Could have at least mentioned Enterprise. Who does he think got the Andorian Telegram stock? I'm sure history will reflect that.
Oh yeah, big difference. Always a big difference. I'm always amazed at how this goes. Always. Never fails. Nah, come on.
Thank you again for attending. Having Enterprise here seems to have everyone at ease. People feel comfortable from the president's view. Well, that certainly helps. The delegates can understand.
I'll be right back.
The translators work perfectly. Thanks to you.
I just updated them with a few things we picked up on the mission.
Whatever you did, extremely precise.
Tell our ambassador I wish they were just a little less precise. You said a formula going gold. You're drafting a charter in 6 weeks. I've always believed that formidable goals produce formidable results.
I decided to stop waiting.
For what?
You to come over and say hello.
You're busy working.
We never had a problem mixing work and pleasure. Smile. I never could get you to smile for the camera.
How have you been, Ken?
Busy. There haven't been many slow news days since the new tech.
Have the rest of my brownie.
At least until the conference is over.
Also, 10, that was an enthusiastic yes.
Oh man. Yeah, fresh and fretboard look nice.
Commander Tucker does have a point. Enterprise made
Okay.
perhaps it should be you they're photographing.
Samuel wants the spotlight and he's welcome to it.
He's going to kill her.
Excuse me?
Just received word from Star's medical. The wound was too severe. She couldn't survive.
I'm gonna put the pickups up high so I can clean, polish the tops a little better, or sides I mean.
She was a medical technician. She'd been having some emotional trouble. Took me from work over a year ago.
You have the hair long. I have a very good idea. It was from a child, more than 6 months old. Used every DNA identification protocol I'm aware of and used a Klingon procedure. Go ahead. Contains broken and human DNA. I had to search for the match in the Starfleet databank. When I got the results, I ran the search 3 more times, just to be certain. And according to every analysis, this child is the offspring of Commander Tucker and Commander Paul. When the crimes multiply, their strengths add up. I'd say so.
Need my little stick. My little stick.
11:10 Central. On H&I. I'm Nick Bolton, and these days,
Hey there.
hey there, it seems everybody has a pair of tactical sunglasses. Good morning. Morning. But what if you already wear glasses? Then you need these flip-up tack glasses. These glasses fit right over your existing eyewear to give you all the benefits of our tack glasses while you comfortably wear your regular glasses. And watch this. When you don't need them, the lenses flip up and out of the way. Then snap right back into place when it gets bright again. Plus, like all tack glasses, flip-up tack glasses feature Bell & Howell light filtering technology that makes invisible objects suddenly become visible. But don't take my word for it. Check out what these people have to say. Take a look at the screen and tell me what you see.
Nothing. Just blink.
Absolutely.
Put down those tack glasses and look again. Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. There was nothing, and then it disappeared.
Absolutely insane.
Do you read that 5 print at the bottom right there? Land of the free and home of the brave. God bless America. Whether you're on the trail or on the golf course, on the water, or on the slopes, with flip-up
That
tack glasses,
commercial is
you'll
so
always see clearly without
scripted.
There's just nothing like them on the market today. Here you go, buddy. Nick?
Anyway.
Now to get your flip-up tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. Only tack glasses feature the precision and quality of genuine Bell & Howell lenses, and they're backed by our lifetime guarantee. But wait, order today and you can get a second pair. Just pay a separate fee. You get it all, plus free shipping. Here's how to
guitar looks pretty nice. I mean, it is pretty good. I'm not gonna knock it too much. It's, you know, it's pretty decent for a cheap end user guitar. We'll see what the first polish off looks like. Pretty decent. Yeah. Pretty decent.
Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp. Call today for free information. 1-800-712-8771. That's 1-800-712-8771. Have you or a family member diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer? Your mesothelioma or lung cancer may be a result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation. In many cases, companies knew the risks of asbestos exposure and did nothing to protect their workers. As a result, over $30 billion in bankruptcy trust funds have been set aside for individuals who have been affected by asbestos exposure. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, you may be entitled to compensation. Ready to get the compensation you deserve? You can use legal experience, support staff,
So you say.
seek the most compensation for your injuries. You or someone diagnosed with mesothelioma.
I gave him, you don't know that. You can't prove that one.
A history of smoking is not disqualify your claim. Call now.
Did you know you can save money by using dish soap to clean grease on more than dishes? Using multiple cleaners on grease can be expensive and sometimes ineffective. For better value, tackle grease with Dawn Ultra. Cleans for more than just dishes. It provides 3 times more grease cleaning power per drop, which cuts through tough kitchen messes, pre-treats laundry stains, and even tackles grease buildup on carpets. Tough greasy messes around your home and save money with Dawn Ultra. Brand power helping you buy better.
Remembering when to change your grease filter is a hassle.
Oh yeah, not too shabby. I mean, the finish they put on the top of it, the clear finish, is by no means the best quality on the face of the planet, or anything near, to be quite honest. But it is decent. And I will leave it at that. It's decent. You get what you pay for these days. I mean, if you want a $1,000 finish, you gotta buy a, you know, a good Gretsch or a good Ibanez or a good, you know, DeArmond or a good Duesenberg or whatever. If you want that kind of finish, and expect to have something perfect, you know. But this is pretty good. I'm not gonna bash it too much. Might bash it a little bit, but not too much. So it looks pretty decent.
You said you never did.
I haven't.
And what are you saying?
I can't explain how it exists, but I know it does.
And it's ours. How do you know that?
I'm looking.
Fortunately, the news hasn't spread to the general public. And I'd like to keep it that way. If you made an announcement, someone might come forward with information. An announcement of this nature could derail conflicts. Now, let's come on Earth later.
Okay, so now what? Now we're gonna polish the back and the sides. In order to do that, I need to put this down and flip it up. You know what? I'm just gonna polish that now because because it's there. So I'll just put that kind of down so I can.
Maybe I just have a little more faith in humanity than you do. Can't afford to operate on faith. What's stake here in the simple trade agreement? Is indeed better than anyone. Our Earth's survival depends on alliances with other species. We don't know whether they're watching or back there. Is this not fighting something else you want to relax? Saying that we're straight for the money. My engineer or science officer are eager to get some answers. Well, I'm sure they are. There's got to be something we can do. Aside the investigators are more than capable of handling this. I suggest we let them do their job. I'll notify you the moment I do something. I appreciate your cooperation. Captain Archer. I want you to talk to Hollowbody. I contacted you. This is recorded. First you need to understand. If I speak, you go back to the room. So it was that. And more shit. She was more than just an emotionally troubled nurse. She was a member of an underground isolation school. Terrifying. They lost all contact with alien species.
These kind of tremolos with this kind of artsy
Her defection may have had something to do with
trellis work, for lack of a better description. It can be a little hard to polish sometimes because you get all that curved surfaces. But it shouldn't be too bad. I'm actually getting it pretty good. Yeah, I'm getting it pretty good actually. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Obviously, you were mistaken. If she told him anything truly damaging, I think we'd know it by now.
I'm sure what she told was more concerned with why she turned away from us.
I think that she might have become attached to the patient. She spent a great deal of time caring for him.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah, you started first time with Charlie.
I feel like I know about everyone else that I've treated.
This isn't anyone else. This is an abomination. You treated it as such. We're on our premises.
Yeah, we're good. Sometimes these are a little difficult to polish remaining on the guitar and together. But every once in a while I can do it without taking one off and then taking it apart. Plus, like I said, I really want to finish this guitar tonight, and not, not have this as a two-day project. Yeah, looks pretty darn good actually. So we're gonna call that done.
I never thought I'd say this, but I found bladder underwear that's actually pretty.
And then we're gonna flip it and do the back and sides, and then back of the neck. no buckle rash on the back or anything, so that's good. Yeah.
Skin the nourishment it needs and keeps it there longer with lock-in moisture technology.
I think we'll be able to finish this guitar tonight. About 40 minutes to do so. I think it'll be good. Yeah, not too shabby. That'll look nice in the sun tomorrow when I take pictures of it. You know? That'll look pretty good.
I gained 53 pounds.
Did she say gain weight?
I gained 53 pounds with CB1 weight gainer.
Introducing CB1 Weight Gainer, the weight gain pill.
I've been skinny most of my life. CB1 weight gainer totally changed my life.
CB1 Weight Gainer is a safe, effective, and patented weight gain pill.
I searched and searched online and I finally found CB1
Glue's over there.
It took me only
So I gotta glue this thing, very last thing.
150 to 175
Before we end this video, to glue the neck joint where we're having the finish crack.
guarantee. Order today and we'll include the exclusive weight gain guidebook. A $19.99 value free. Call now and we'll also upgrade your order to rush processing. A $6.99 value absolutely free. That's right. Save over $25 when you call or visit cb1weightgainer.com now.
Yeah. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.
Pushing for an embargo against the Orions and attacking the freight.
We've traded with the Orions for centuries. We wouldn't know that these attacks. It's Tellarites like
Come to appreciate their point of view.
Tellarites only want to deprive us of valuable commerce. Corridon will never agree to any trade sanctions.
Ambassador Captain Archer.
Ambassador, I need to contact my government about today's developments. Excuse me.
Back it over again.
Starting pass on the investigation. Welcome to me. This is the chief of the investigation.
Come on. There we go.
Susan Corridon was a member of Terra Prime. If that's true, it's extremely
Yeah, I think we'll be able to finish this in a timely fashion tonight. The setup on this is not going to take too long, so. So it's going to go pretty good.
I was very young when I joined Terra Prime. You were 18. Did you make any questionable choices when you were that age? It was a stupid mistake. I was a fool. My father died in a fatal accident, and I've been the pilot who happened to be Denotio. We all have our demons. I've exercised mine. I don't care what you did when you were young, Minister. I need your help.
J. Turser. JT Series Hollowbody is what this is. It's only a couple of years old. Somebody bought it, strummed it a few times, and then that was it. Sold it to my friend recently, and then my friend sold it to me last week for next to nothing. Only because he bought it for next to nothing. And we had an issue with the switch, which we fixed, and now we're golden. We are golden. We're golden on the pickups too. We thought it was a pickup issue, and it turned out it wasn't a pickup issue. Mercy. Okay.
You know how you feel about space exploration? Find another story to do.
It's too late. It's too late today.
You're gonna have to find another source to your head. Can you give me one reason why I shouldn't avoid you? We're both confident. Make your decision. Looks like you changed your mind.
I haven't decided.
That's the first
So
time.
far, so good.
So, we're working by giving me that tour.
Got a minute? Certainly.
So this will make a very good Hollowbody for a beginner or an intermediate, or somebody that just wants something to pick up real quick and play, you know. Perfect. This is perfect for that.
I still can't believe it. Especially since the polls.
Okay, we'll do the back of the neck and the tuners.
She had the upgrade removed, also without your knowledge. I believe you know the answer to that. Yeah, I guess I do. We'll get to the bottom of this. Till then, I suggest you take your theories yourself. That's good advice. You know, my father always wanted a granddaughter. But my sister about it constantly. It seems he got his wish. The shadow of this incalculable devastation, we find ourselves facing a colossal challenge. There's an entire world to rebuild. Not only our cities and homes, but mankind itself. Now is not the time for timidity and second guessing. We cannot afford to doubt ourselves.
The Third World War just ended. The ceasefire was 3 years old.
Unless we act decisively, we will pass on the scars of mutation and decay to future generations.
Colonel Green. Colonel Green. One of the many men history has misunderstood.
For the sake of our children and our children's children, we must reject the impure and cast it out.
Before my father died and left me this facility, I was studying to be an historian. So I had a very verbal confrontation with a certain professor.
Okay.
Green was nothing more than just like that. Subject of the same professor. Green euthanized hundreds of thousands who were afflicted with radiation damage. Millions of descendants would have been here in multiple diseases. Forget history. But he never says anything about that suffering that Green prevented. I should argue that's what he writes to history. Makes me wonder if I have to do another with any more accuracy.
I don't think you're going to be misunderstood.
Sometimes I don't certainly understand myself.
We did what we had to do, not what we wanted to do.
I'm sure Green told himself the same thing.
He was right, and so are we.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Daniel, you are a wise man.
Medical report of patient. The sequence of knowledge is already set.
It's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Sometimes these type of tuners are really hard to get in the groove. extra polish and all that. You have to be a little patient. A little patience goes a long way. We'll flip this sucker over and start putting it back together. I'm getting tired and whatnot.
Which one did you use to penetrate the steel and
Got to polish the top of the fret, top of the neck. Excuse me, top of the headstock. I'm sorry.
if it's okay? Oh, beautiful shit.
I always thought so. Unfortunately, we used the shuttle pod less and less.
Why?
Getting more comfortable with the transport.
Makes sense. Considering a few seconds.
And look at how skill involved.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing flat. I've always had a tendency to get attached to machines. It's crazy, but every time we use the transporter, they all kind of turn their backs on these guys.
I can't make it short without leaving something behind.
Polish the top of the pick, or I mean the truss rod cover. Of course, yes, we do have to do the pick guard too, so we'll get it all done, I think, tonight. Pretty confident.
I'm alive.
Might go a little over my time for this video, but we'll get it done. It'll be worth it. So I just want to get this one done because I got a lot of guitars to do this week, so I can't dawdle too much. I really got to kind of get the lead out this week.
Susan Croy was killed by PlayStation 5.
A lot of guitars to do. I got BC Rich Mockingbird to do. I got a BC Rich Dagger to do. Of course, it was this one. I've got an Ibanez 7-string I've got to do that I just picked up for like $40. It's a restoration project. So, a lot to do.
Like mining coins.
Yes, one's obvious.
I have these Hollowbody terrifying activity. Not the chance has a friend who worked on this. I might be able to get what's inside. And then visit it undercover. I want to be a part of that mission.
I'd like to volunteer.
No charge to see what you do. Yes, sir.
So, what the heck is wrong with this? It looks a little strange. I'm going to have to do it again. Some aspects of this headstock look a little weird. So I'm just going to kind of
The attorneys of the Judge
go
Advocate General
again.
are here to defend the truth. JAG, every Wednesday starting at 11:10 Central. Part of the day shift. And H&I.
Hanging out with your dad is great, but sometimes you need to keep them behind a gate. Because you don't want them jumping up in your company's face, or running out the door, forcing you to chase them all over the place. Problem is, ordinary projects are terribly bulky and difficult and dangerous for you to climb over. Well, now there's Klasic, the revolutionary new lightweight, airy mesh gate that's designed to make gating your pet much easier and much more convenient for you. Because Klasic opens right up to let you pass through with ease.
Finish on this
Simply unroll clever
top
gates
of
into the
this
open
headstock
space, and
is
it becomes
kind of,
perfectly right in place.
I don't know, I guess it was really oxidized. I think it was sitting in the sun because I'm taking a lot of oxidization on it. So it's like, you know,
Or tools used at all. So strong, even fit for
getting it though. I mean, it's just kind of a little weird. Yeah.
Just unhook and you can easily walk right through. Perfect for doorways and hallways too. Ideal in your kitchen. And Clevergate works perfectly for closing off stairs, but lets you easily walk right through. Clevergate fits any opening up to 6 feet and rolls right out for a perfect fit in seconds and blends in perfectly anywhere. And when you leave it open, it's like it's not
That's
even
about as
there.
good as it's gonna get.
It's
kind of strange, but it's strange, but we got it. I mean,
Get the Clevergate today for just $19.99 and we'll even ship it to you free. Oh wait, order today and you can get a second Clevergate. Just pay a separate fee, so don't delay. Order your Clevergate today for just $19.99. Call or go online now.
To order, call 1-800-344-9189 or go to tryclevergate.com. That's 1-800-344-9189 or order online at tryclevergate.com. That's 1-800-344-9189.
we'll dry lube the nut real quick. Ooh.
Kevin Starr of Cincinnati, who helped with Travis's contact, Kurt and Paul have been processed into the Orpheus mining facility.
This is the second time we've been through here. I've seen all this
Okay.
before.
Dry lube the nut a little bit.
Maybe you downloaded an outdated map.
The map is correct.
Maybe you're reading it wrong.
We can ask for directions.
Give me that.
Okay, nut dry lubed.
Let's try that way. It's the only tunnel I don't recognize.
Ah, darn it. Come on.
I think we're getting there.
I know you're not convinced I've told you the truth. About the child. You think I might have gotten pregnant without your knowledge?
I never said that.
Thanks, killing me. Okay. We're getting it.
In the box.
No.
Polish the
Look, it's because you're
uh,
you know I really so. I'm sick and tired of this bomb you got.
I don't particularly enjoy it either.
Listen, it's time and order. I do believe it. And if you get any more feelings, what?
there it is. Okay, I'm really trying to finish because I got 20 minutes left. I still have to glue the finish crack, so I'm kind of stepping it up a little bit. Getting the lead out, as I like to say. Gotta get the lead out.
I have a rule. If I'm in bed with someone, they have to be in bed with me.
What was that?
Oh.
You are not here.
I'm just worried about some friends of mine.
You want to talk about it?
I'm under orders not to talk about them.
That's the last thing you should tell a reporter.
Let's change the subject. How come you haven't settled down?
I'm never gonna settle down. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna get serious with someone. With the right circumstance.
Okay, guitar, pick guard.
Right circumstance.
Pick guard polished. Ready to go. I think we can start doing the setup on this. Need to get the lead out, step it up some.
Seeing you, I was wondering, maybe the next challenge is for me is to stand on Turser.
No word yet.
Okay, we're getting it. Okay, gonna double check the the bridge here.
Fresh off the boat? One of the SK models. They only give them the rubbers.
Guess you found me out.
Josiah. What brings you to this dump site?
Change of scenery.
Yeah, that's what I was after too. The only one with the landscape I got sick of. At least there aren't as many of them up here.
So now I want to make sure these screw and studs are tight for the bridge.
Bad enough you can't walk down the street without some freak show scaring the hell out of your kids. Now the government's making treaties with them.
Have to wonder where it's all gonna end.
Well, it's gonna end with human beings becoming second-class citizens on their own world.
Someone's gonna make a stand.
Yeah, we got to do very little to this bridge. I mean, it's just,
Some of us are meeting in 2200 level
that's all we have to do. That's it. Put the pickup level back down. Okay. I pretty much know where it was, so I don't need to. It's in the groove. I can start adjusting the height a little bit, just so it's off the bridge. I think that'll be good enough.
Not nearly enough. It's not working, Romeo. Junior's looking at Aries. Junior's on Transformers. I can't help but wonder whether the drama went happier than if they missed another suicide in the in-between.
Who the hell are you?
John, I love this facility. Everything I do in my life business is about taking care of the worst.
15 more minutes. I think I can get it done now. I need to because my back is really hurting badly right now. I mean, really hurting. Whew. It is flaming right now.
And numbers. Okay, get it? Got it? So log into the day shift, Monday through Friday, starting at 11, 10 Central, right here on HNI.
Watch how this touchless makeup appears to erase flaws. Imagine, say bye-bye to old-fashioned makeup and glow flawless. Silk is the only way you get full, luminous makeup. Just a few drops of silk foundation, then hair source, and
Okay. Need to do the
up to 10 times less makeup than liquid foundations applied with your fingers. Luminous silk gives you full, proper
do the
coverage.
knobs.
Also makes you look dramatically younger. There's no way I'm going back to traditional makeup. Right now, you can try luminous silk for just $39.95. You get our all-new 5th generation airbrush. Our new radical 4-in-1 silk formula gives you anti-aging, moisturizer, concealer, and foundation all in one. Fortified with silk and other natural ingredients, this formulation cares for your skin all day long. These are ingredients that can also smooth the skin or anti-inflammatory. I'm confident recommending it to my patients. Plus, with a wide range of silk shades, our proprietary color match system guarantees a perfect match. You'll also receive luminous silk, highlighter and bronzer, and Simply Blush. Plus, order now and you get 3 more premium free gifts. You get our luminous 4-color lip trend palette, 4-color 5 palettes, plus volumizing quarter lash mascara. A $64 value as free premium gifts to you. With everything, we are celebrating almost 25 years of making women beautiful. Call our online now. Use this
And we can put the pick guard on.
50% savings. Luminous silk is yours
Cut
to
the
try
ends of the strings, those new strings off. And then intonation should be very easy because it's got a compensated bridge. So
Have you or a family member been diagnosed with mesothelioma or any type of lung cancer? Your mesothelioma or lung cancer may be a result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation.
okay, I think we can start
The risks of asbestos exposure have nothing to do with workers. As a result, over $30 million in bankruptcy trust
set up.
have been set aside for individuals who have been affected by asbestos exposure. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or
Well,
lung
let's put the pick guard
you
on.
may be entitled to
I think
compensation.
I'll do that.
How do you protect your rights? Get the compensation you deserve? You choose the right legal team that has the experience, support staff, and resources to seek the most compensation for your injuries. If you or a family member were diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, call for more information and a free case review. A history of smoking may not disqualify your claim. Call now.
I think we're golden. I'll put my hemostat away. Plug it in, and hopefully that switch still is. Hopefully that switch is still still good.
You reconfigured your universal translator to record messages from all the other translators. You were spying on the government.
You accidentally triggered an network source. I know what you're talking about.
Show me what anyone else is talking about.
It doesn't mean she worked for Telecom. Do a background check.
In the line of one, you've been pretty attached to the
now.
Take her to the parade dinner whoever she wants. Sorry, Travis. Turser,
A large vessel is taking off from the mining facility.
can you identify him?
Sir, sensors indicate it is the mining facility.
Being held. Start with command.
Okay. I don't have time to dilly-dally, so... Center the strings, and center the bridge. Ooh, gonna have to adjust the intonation, that's for sure. Good. almost done. This just goes to show you how fast I can do a setup if I need to. Like if a customer were dropping me off a guitar tomorrow and they said, well, they're doing a gig tonight, they need it in 2 hours, you know, I'd be able to do it. We're going to go over our limit. Well, not our limit, but over what I like to do for streams, but that's okay. Yeah, the action's definitely lower than it was last time. I think that's pretty good. And call that done because I need to glue the neck still right now. So we'll do that. Glue the neck and then I'll be right back.
Our mission is to make contact with those who humans consider new life. has gone before with the trailblazing women of all Star Trek. 6 nights a week, starting at 8/7 Central, only on H&I.
How's it going? How long you been out? 3 months. Listen, I gotta talk to you. I got a situation. Yeah? Got a situation. Thing is, my friend ain't named in this one. I can't do no more time. I don't know.
Rip it.
Come on over here. How's this situation? This guy used to know Arch. So, what about this Archie? He asked me to do something. He asked me to try to find somebody to do a job for him, and I said I'd put out a feeler, and then I got worried. He caught my name getting mixed up in it. What you want done? Archie wants some guy whacked. Who's the guy? Archie's girlfriend's ex-husband-to-be, a fellow named Carmine. They're separated, and Archie's hanging out with her now. Ex-husband-to-be, that would make Carmine the current husband. Technically, yeah. Anyway, Archie, who's hanging out with Carmine's wife, feels prospectively that he's in danger from this guy, and he wants done what he thinks eventually Carmine's gonna do to him. Which is croak him for sleeping with his wife. If Archie's your friend, why are you telling this? You already asked somebody to do the hit? Yeah. Yeah, I asked somebody if they wanted the contract, and Archie and him couldn't get together on the price, and then I got worried. This guy I talked to might come forward and they... I should have stayed out of this. I'm glad you figured that out. Correct, the way I can see that...
Okay, we're going overtime on this guitar. So it sounds good, it looks good, and it is good. Wow, look at that. She's a beaut. She's a beaut. As my dad would say, that's a doozy. And it is a doozy. It's very much a doozy. It's not a floozy, but it is a doozy. So I need to pick this sucker up, flip it over. Perfectly tuned, perfectly intonated. Very careful not to mess with any of that, so I can glue that neck crack, finish crack, just right here. It's not very long. The extent of this crack is not very long. So I just put some glue on my finger, dab it in, wipe off the excess, and that's it. That's all I need to do. I got a not a rag, a tissue here. I can do this too, and just dab the glue in, wipe off the excess, and that'll be it. Really want to finish because I'm really tired. Really tired. Choose out a TV show I watch to watch and end my day and do it all tomorrow again. Do it all again tomorrow. Nice. Come on, is this tip clogged or something? Oh man. Okay, what's wrong? Oh, I might have to take the tip off and clean it. Dag nabbit. Sorry. I just need a little bit of glue. I don't need great big huge dabs of it or anything. So you just... I just need enough to put in the crack, just to, you know, just to kind of shore it up, if you will. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do anything else. It's a cheap guitar, so I'm not trying to make miracles here. So I got the glue on it. Now, tissue and then I just wipe off the excess. Because you don't want to just leave the glue on there, because then you'll just have a messy mess there. So you just want to clean out and around from where you dab the glue. And you're wiping excess away so it doesn't look like junk. I've already polished it, so the excess glue comes off relatively easy. I'll take my light and look at it too to make sure. There's a couple little spots I need to.
Good for you, Kate. Good for you. Good RX. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions.
There we go. Fold over my. I'm just using a tissue that I used the other day for cleaning the tip of the soldering gun. And then I can make sure that I got all the excess glue off.
I should know. I was an addict for 10 years. Now I'm not.
Oh yeah.
Or call 888-630.
Yep.
Got an idea for an invention?
That's it.
Don't know what to do next? Call my friends at InventHelp. They've been helping inventors.
That's all we gotta do. Okay, project done. Let that dry overnight. And then tomorrow I can take pictures of this guitar, put it right back up for sale. $170. Not too bad. Oh. I think I'm going to flip it back over because I don't want it resting on its strings all night. Because the strings are new. And the guitar's perfectly intonated and in tune, so I don't want to mess with that. So I'm gonna flip this sucker back over. And like I said, the crack is just a finish crack. It's not a neck crack or anything. So this thing looks pretty awesome. I mean, I must say, I'm pretty happy with it. I can't say that I'm not pretty darn happy with it. The frets and fretboard came out nice. It's all good. So I think we're done. And then tomorrow night's guitar is going to be probably that BC Rich. Maybe this Ibanez 7-string. We'll see. We'll see which I feel like. So yeah. Alright, we're at 2 hours and 37 minutes. So thank you for joining me for this classic guitar video on this J Turser JT series Hollowbody guitar in kind of a sunburst. Very pretty guitar. It's kind of a semi-low end guitar. I got it for really cheap. I won't even say how much about it because you probably won't believe me. So I'm going to put it back up for sale for $170. If that tells you how cheap I bought it, and I'm going to make just an ever so tiny profit. Maybe I'll make a little pizza money or something, a little taco money, cheeseburger money. So that's what it is. J Turser. We did have a problem with the switch, which I fixed, and we had that finish crack at the neck joint, which I just finished. So thank you for joining me for this video. Again, this episode is brought to you by Guitar Center of Glendora. Go see them. They're really great, and we'll see you next time, and happy guitaring.